answered. Let me explain a little bit about how this is going to work. We have a lot of, we asked you for your questions and we've taken those. And the good thing is a lot of these were questions that we always get. We have a lot of questions that seem to come up time and time again, frequently asked questions. And so we thought that this would be a good forum to address those questions. And so there's going to be, as opposed to our usual webinar where we have a presentation on one topic or two that might last a while, these are going to be several different questions that we're going to answer. Some of these you might already know the answers to, and some of these you might learn something. And so this is going to be a good forum for discussion. We have a bunch of different questions to get to. So without further ado, let's move into our questions. Our first one, and we get this quite a bit, how do I change the default for who is notified when a ticket is updated? And in the same vein is a link to the ticket sent in the email notification. And Catherine's going to answer this one.
Thanks, Keaton. Logging in as the admin, on the left-hand side, if you click on Settings and then Mail, this is just a screenshot of the left-hand side of the mail screen. This is where you set up your outgoing and your incoming mail. But there is 3 options here underneath When Ticket Changes. There's Notify Technician, Notify User, and Send Ticket Link on email notification. I would recommend that you select all 3 of these options. The Send Ticket Link on email notification will make it so that end users and technicians can click that link and go right into the help desk to see the update that has been posted. But this also gives the technician the option when they are making a comment or making a change on a ticket to notify the user or notify the technician. Sometimes they don't always want to do that, so it just gives them the flexibility of selecting it or unselecting it.
All right, thanks, Catherine. All right, our next question. Now, can anyone view knowledge base articles? This next question is about the knowledge base. The knowledge base is something that sometimes is underutilized by a lot of people. Also in the same vein, how do I make a knowledge base article only viewable to the technicians in my department? Amy's going to tackle this one.
Okay, thanks, Keaton. So by default, if an article in the knowledge base is public, then anyone can view that article. You don't actually have to be logged into the system to view those articles either. There's a button on the login screen that says Search Knowledge Base, and you can view any public articles just by clicking on that link and then searching for them. But if you'd like to make your articles private, all you have to do is, by default, the manager can edit articles within the group that they're a part of. So you just log in as a manager or an admin, go to the knowledge base and click on the article you'd like to make private, and then click on the Make Private button there at the top when you're in the article. You do have to have manager rights to be able to edit these articles. But then once an article is private, then any technician or manager in the group that the article is part of will be able to see that. So in this example, you can see at the bottom of the screenshot, the group is Information Technology. Right now the type is public, but if you make it private, then any technician or manager in the IT group will be able to see this article, but end users would not be able to see it.
Thank you, Amy. Now, I'm going to remind people that we will, of course, address your questions at the end. And we have a Q&A section at the end of this presentation. So go ahead and type in your questions in the Q&A box or the chat box if you wish, and we will get to those questions in the end. If you'd like something clarified, if you'd like to see something again, go ahead and ask any question you like, and we'll answer those in the end. Now, this next question is something that we get a lot, and it is great that we're going to explain this right now. When I try to delete a user, it says that it cannot be deleted and it has been marked inactive. What does this mean? And Catherine's going to explain this one for us.
Thanks, Keaton. The reason that you can't mark a group, category option, location, custom field, or a person, or you can't delete them is because they've been used in the help desk, and so therefore that data is stored in case you ever need to run a filter or do a search to pull that information again. It does not allow you to actually delete it. It will just mark them as inactive. So if there comes a point when you want to reactivate that person, you would simply log in as the admin user, and then under the user accounts, just click the pencil on the far right-hand side to edit the user. And right underneath their email is a button that says, excuse me, that says active. And this one that you're looking at, because it's gray, this is showing that this user is inactive. And if you just simply click to the left of that gray button on the right, it will make it blue, and then you can save the changes, and then that user is now active.
Thanks, Catherine. That is a question that we do get a lot, and so it's great that we've explained that. Again, I'm seeing a bunch of questions come in, and so we will get to those questions at the end just to remind everybody we do have a Q&A at the end of this webinar. All right, the next one also for Catherine. How do I get my users for LDAP into the help desk?
Okay, as soon as your LDAP configuration is set up, and if you are the admin user, but say a network tech sets this up for you, Keaton, if you'll just go to the next slide. Okay, the first thing that you will notice, or the difference that you will notice, is when you go into user accounts, where this arrow is pointing here, it says import from LDAP. If you're not actually integrated with LDAP or an Active Directory, this button will not appear. So if you think that you have set it up correctly and you come to this screen and that button's not there, then you'll need to look at that setup again. But what you'll do is go ahead and just click import from LDAP. And Keaton, if you'll go to the next slide. You have an option to just import one user, so you could type their last name or their first name or their email or all three of those and click search. Or you can just click search and it's going to pull up everybody that's in the LDAP directory. And at that point, you can just go down and select the people that you would like to import, and then click at the bottom, Import Selected Users, and then they will now be in the help desk, and all they will need to do is log in with their network login and password. Once you, just on a side note, once you, initially you could import all of your users at once, and then let's say you add new employees or you need to import just one or two, you can still do that at another time. You don't have to do, it doesn't have to be an all or nothing. Keaton?
All right, thanks, Catherine. All right, so this next question, we always have on the demo, the marquee, and on a lot of our demos it says things like, the phone system's down, please don't submit phone tickets. A lot of people don't even notice that or glance over it and they realize to say they want to know how to change it, and Jen's going to tell us how to change that marquee.
All right, thanks, Keaton. Yeah, so we do get this question from time to time, how do I change the marquee? And this is actually really easy to do. First of all, you will need to log into the help desk as an admin. Then you'll click on the Settings tab, and then on the left-hand side of the screen under System, you will click the General tab. Then you'll see System Message Text. You can go in there and type in whatever message you would like. Simply click on Save Changes, and there you have it.
Thanks, Jen. All right, now I've seen one or two questions come into the chat box about custom fields. So we will address those specifically later. However, this question does deal with custom fields. This is for Catherine. It says, what does it mean when the order number is 0? And we're mainly talking about custom field setup here.
Thanks, Keaton. When you set up a custom field, the order number will automatically default to 0. You can change that, and the way that you change that is the way it will be displayed on the ticket. So if you look at this one, this is the custom field setup. The question is the printer on? And you would fill the custom field or enter everything the way that you would like it to appear on the ticket, and then you can change that order to number 3. If you look at the next slide, it's going to show you when you view all custom fields, there is a column there that says order. So we can see that those first 4 are all ordered at 0, and they do belong to different groups. And then you can see the bottom ones are ordered 1 through 3. So the next slide is going to show the actual ticket. And so this is going to go from left to right. So our first one, level of importance, was labeled at 0. And the next one, which was room number, was labeled at 1. So it starts in the left column and goes over to the right, and then it starts back. So our second, then third, and then fourth one is listed here. If you would like them to appear in a different order, you can just go back into the custom field and change the number. If you would like them to go, like say you want them to read down the column instead of from left to right, then you would order them 0 to 4, and then on the right-hand side would be the odd numbers. Hopefully that makes sense. If it doesn't and there's more questions, we can address those later as well.
Thank you, Catherine. This next one, how do I change the tabs on the My Ticket screen to only show the things that are most important to me, is a question that we do get a lot. Amy is going to explain this for us, and I think she's going to do it in a demo. So we're going to switch over, make her the presenter.
Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and share my screen here for you.
All right, there it is.
Okay, perfect. So I'm actually logged in as a technician, and I'm just going to show you how to change these tabs along the top of your My Ticket screen. As you can see here, I have them customized already, but I'm going to show you from the start how to actually set these up. It actually starts in a ticket filter. So if you go to search, then you can start by giving it a name. For this example, I'm going to show all tickets that are assigned to the IT ticket pool that are open tickets. So for this, I'm going to call it IT Ticket Pool. You can either mark it as public or private. In ticket filters, a public filter is viewable to anyone, and a private filter is viewable only to yourself. So for this example, I'll leave this as a private article. And I want tickets that are assigned to the ticket pool in IT. And then you click the little blue plus button to add that to the filter. And then I also want status, anything that is not closed. So that's going to be all of our open tickets in the IT ticket pool. Now the other thing that I can do is rearrange my columns if I would like. For example, I might want to add the internal asset. And if I wanted to rearrange that, all you have to do is drag and drop, and that will be in a different order there. So I'm going to go ahead and save this filter. Now, once you have a saved filter, if you go back to the My Ticket screen and you click on this edit icon over here, Customize Tabs, then all you have to do is add a tab and choose the filter. So I have IT Ticket Pool. You can name it a different name if you'd like it to appear differently on the tab, but for this one I'm going to leave it the same. Now Catherine just mentioned the order, and that applies here in customizing the tabs also. So I might want this one to appear in the third position. As you can see in the background, I have order 0, 1, so I'm going to give this one a 2, and then I'll come back over here and change this to 3, and change this one to 4, click apply, and then they'll be in that order, and save changes. And then you can see here that the IT ticket pool, this filter now appears in the third position on my ticket screen. Now if you have one already set up and you'd just like to edit your filter and the way it appears on this screen, it's pretty simple. You just click the edit filter button. So let's say, for example, I want to see the category also on this screen. I want some more information. I just drag and drop again into the positions I want them in. Click Save Filter. Go back to the My Ticket screen, and there we have it. Category, category option, subject in that order. It's pretty simple to set up custom tabs on your My Ticket screen.
All right, thank you, Amy. Appreciate that. Let me get control back here. All right. Now, we've already had a couple questions actually come into the chat box. about new versions of EHD. And so Jen is going to answer this question about how to download those latest versions of everything Help Desk.
All right, thanks, Keaton. Yeah, this is a question that I get often from customers. Just so you know, to find our latest version, you'll need to, Keaton, can you click on the next slide? Thanks. So you will need to go to the link downloads.grouplink.net, and it will bring you directly to our downloads page. As you can see here, our latest release is 10.0.2. This tells you exactly what installer you need, and then down at the bottom we also have the documentation. This includes EHD installation, configuration, an administration guide, as well as the latest release notes.
All right, Jen, this one's kind of in the same vein, another administrative question about the training videos for how to use specific features in the help desk. And then if you would, you can answer the question after this about bugs and enhancement requests, because I know that it's yours too.
All right, thanks. Yeah, there are a couple different ways that you can locate our training videos. Keaton, if you could just click, there we go, thanks. You can go to our direct link, which you can see right there, grouplink.com/product/EHD/inaction, or you can go to grouplink.com and navigate your way. First you would click on products, then select everything help desk. Then on the left-hand side you'll click on product videos. This will bring up a list of training videos that we have created that cover specific features in the help desk, such as end user overview, permissions with the ACL, decoupled location field, and so on. Okay, and then another question that we get often is, how do I submit an enhancement request? First of all, you will need to log into our support site, support.grouplink.net, and create a new ticket. For the group, you will choose Product Enhancement Requests, and the category, you will choose Everything Help Desk. The category option is a drop-down box, so you will scroll through and select the feature that you want. For our example, we picked dashboards. Then you'll simply type in your request into the notes section of the ticket and save it. Then the ticket goes back to us, and we will review your request. Okay, I'll go ahead and take this next one. How can I contact GroupLink's support team? There's a couple different ways that you can contact support. First, you can send an email directly to them, which is support@grouplink.net, or you can call the support line. That's 801-335-0701. To submit a bug or support request, you will need to do this on our support site, which I mentioned earlier, support.grouplink.net, and create a new ticket. For the group, you will select EHD standard support. The category, you will need to select the feature from the drop-down box, and the category option, you'll select what part of that feature that you're looking for. Then you can type in the notes or information that you'd like to add and then save the ticket. The ticket will then go to the ticket pool, and one of our support reps will be in contact with you regarding the ticket you submitted.
All right, Jen, last one for you. I know we've given you several in a row. Who should I contact regarding additional licenses in my help desk renewal? Also, can I purchase them at any time or only when the renewal is due? That's when we get a lot. Also, Jen, we had a question come into the chat box that asked if they have to wait till their license is up for renewal. Or sorry, let me explain that better. They have to wait till their license is up to upgrade to the latest version, or if they can do that at any time.
All right, thanks, Keaton. Yeah, if you ever have questions regarding your renewal, when is it due, I need a quote, or if you need a quote for additional licenses, you would just need to contact one of your customer care team members, which is myself, Jen Prescott, or Keaton Gerard. You can see our contact information there on your screen. Say that you hired a couple new people and you need additional licenses. You do not need to wait until your renewal to add licenses. You can contact one of us right away, and we'd be more than happy to send you a quote. And say your renewal is due in December, what we would do is on your quote, we would prorate the upgrade protection and support on your quote for 6 months so that it matches the upgrade protection support date on your existing licenses. So I hope that makes sense.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay, and then to answer the other question, when can I upgrade my version of HelpDesk? You can do that at any time. As long as you are current on your upgrade protection and support, you can upgrade to our latest version at any time.
Thank you so much, Jen. And thank you to Amy and Catherine also for answering the questions. We've come to our Q&A section. There's a lot of questions in the Q&A box and the chat box already. So just give us a second. We're going to compile those and start answering them. If you have any more, we'll give you a couple seconds to type it in right now. If you'd like something elaborated on, go ahead and type it in. We'd be happy to show you an extended demo of what we've talked about. So go ahead and type in your questions now. Thanks again to Amy and Catherine and Jen for answering all our frequently asked questions for us. All right, so we've had a question. There's the first one. We have several, but we're going to start answering them now. We've had a question come into the chat. Dwayne asked for instructions on setting up custom fields. Is it possible to add custom fields? Can I get instructions to do that? Says, I want users to open tickets, but I need specific information from them. Yes, indeed it is possible. So let me share my screen. All right. So hopefully everybody can see my screen. So this is a demo. I'm going to log in as admin. Keep in mind that you must be logged in as an admin to modify these. Okay, now I'm in the settings menu. And I go down to, under ticket, it says custom field setup. So I click on that. It brings up my custom fields. So I'm going to add a custom field. Dwayne said I need specific info from my users. So let's give an example here. On these fields on the right, location, group, category, category option, we're going to choose when the custom field will show up. Now it says right here, leaving these fields blank will result in the custom field showing on all tickets regardless of the selected location, group, category, category option. So if you leave them all blank, every ticket that's submitted will have the custom fields. So custom fields, like maybe if your teachers are submitting tickets and you want the room number or something on there that it's not pulling from directory, you can have that custom field on there. No matter what group or category option or location, it will ask for a room number or something like that. Now let's give a specific example. Let's choose group. Let's say it'll come up for all locations. Let's choose a group. Let's do tech services. And the category, hardware, category option, printer. And say that they are saying they're out of ink. That's one of the things that the help desk is used frequently for. Now let's pretend like we want to get a little more information from them, so we could do or we could label it which cartridge is low. Oh, or just which color. Say they're low on ink, and we could have a drop down and add options down here. I'll say there are people who are submitting tickets that says our ink is low, and then you have to contact them and ask them which color. Say we could do a drop down field and put in black, magenta, what are the other ones? Cyan, and yellow. Those are the four ink cartridge colors, correct? So you could have that custom field. So if you need to get more information, they select printer and it'll ask them which color, if they're going to, or in a good example, we'd have a category option be ink is low. Category printer, category option ink is low, and then we could ask them black, magenta, cyan, yellow, so we could ask them and get more specific information. We could do anything we want. We could do text field, and the field label could be, please enter the asset number. And then there could be a text field, and we could make it required. So there's lots of different things that we could do. In one example that we were talking about in a previous webinar, we were having a vehicle fleet being maintained by the help desk, and the field label would pop up that said odometer reading, and then it would be required and ask them to enter in a number for the odometer reading. That we selected number text field. So we can customize the tickets so that we get exactly the information that we want from our users, because if the ticket comes in and it doesn't have the info we need on it, then that's useless, right? We want the information. So custom fields are a great tool, and if you need, if anybody would like a further demo on this, you can contact us, and we can show you all the ways to utilize it. All right, now we have some other questions here. I believe Amy has one that she's going to answer for us.
Thanks, Keaton. A couple of questions here that I'm seeing in the Q&A. The first one, is there a way to add a custom field only to a certain ticket template without it appearing on all tickets? So when you saw Keaton setting up the custom fields just a second ago, you can have it drilled down to as specific as category option. So if it's something that you want only on a ticket template and not on all tickets for that category option, my suggestion would be just to create a new category option and then apply the custom field only to that one. So the next question I'm seeing, is there a way to add a comment to a ticket that is only viewable by technicians and managers? So within the permission models in the ACL, you are able to make all, for example, all history comments viewable by technicians and above rather than users. But in a case-by-case basis, you would not be able to have something that is private in one case and public in another case. You'd have to do that across the entire group. And you can find that within the permission model in the ACL. Okay, and follow up to the question that I just answered. If the history is turned off, it is still on the PDF version of the ticket. Is there a way to prevent that? Tana, I personally was not aware of that, but I will definitely look into that and have someone follow up with you after the webinar with some possible options for that. Okay, I'm seeing another question here from Dwayne. Is there any way to export tickets in a custom format, only the fields I want in the order I want with white space between the tickets? So part of that, yes, you are able to do. Sorry, give me just a second and I will share my screen and show you how to do that. Okay, so when, let's see, when you're in the ticket filter or in the search, like for example here, if you go to the ticket filters and click apply, then they will show up in with the columns that you chose in the order that you wanted. You unfortunately are not able to add like white space in between the different tickets, but you can then export all of your tickets as a PDF or an Excel, or you can select just the ones that you want to export and export only those. And again, the way to change which columns are visible in that filter, it's all right here in the right-hand side when you edit the filter. Again, for example, if you wanted to add, let's say you wanted to add the contact and you wanted the contact to be the first thing after the ticket number that you see. So then once you have this, you just click Apply Filter. And there it is. The contact is right there after the ticket number. And it should look the same once you export those.
All right, there is a question here that comes from Lindsay. She's wanting to know how often we release new versions of everything Help Desk. We try to have small releases every couple months, and then we'll have a big release twice a year. And now we don't have a set date on when these releases come out, so I would just advise you to check our downloads page often. We also will send you emails and update you with when new releases come out.
So in follow-up to the question that Jen just answered about the release process, there's a question here. Do you provide patches for issues reported, or would we be required to wait for the next version of Everything Help Desk to be released? So there are versions that are specifically for fixing bugs and things like that. And those are going to be our point releases. So for example, version 10.0 would be a major release, and version 10.01 and 10.02 would be minor bug fix type of releases. Okay, so there's a question here from Linda. Is there a way to set filter on date fields from ascending to descending order? So if you have it set up as your custom tab, for example, and you have the created date or modified date as one of those columns, if you just click on the top on that header where it says created date or modified date, whichever the column is, then that will sort it, but there's no way to set the default for how it is sorted.
Okay, looks like there's a question about how enhancement requests are processed. Right now, you can go to the support site and you can put in a ticket for an enhancement request, or you can call any one of us here and we can put it in for you. The way that those are processed is we have a PRB, which is a product review board, which meets once a month, and we go over all of the enhancements that have been submitted at that time, and we weight them, and then we vote on what will get put into the next release. So if you have enhancements that you would like to request, you can contact support, or you can contact myself. This is Catherine, by the way, and I can put those in for you and then take those to the product review board.
All right, thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Jen, so much for your help today. And thank you, everybody here for coming to our webinars. We love doing these customer webinars because we always have a lot of people show up. We always have questions. We always have feedback. And we always have a good discussion. So thanks so much for coming. We're going to end the webinar at this time. We've gotten every question that has been submitted to the Q&A or the chat box. If your question was not answered aloud, then make sure to check the chat box or the Q&A, because we did type in responses to those questions. And then you can go back. If you want to see anything over again, we will send the recording of this webinar out to you, and you can check the recording and watch it over again if you'd like to revisit anything else. And feel free to contact us if you still have questions or need help with anything. We're always here to help. So thank you once again for coming to this webinar. I would like to remind you to connect with us, like us on Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn, and just stay in contact with us. We do a great job of sending out emails, posting updates, keeping our website updated. We try to do our best to keep you informed, and these webinars are just another way that we can connect with you. So once again, we appreciate you coming. Everybody, we hope you have a great Thursday. Bye-bye.